just going to go over Russell and show something. The first step is always like you want to frame the trend. Say the trend most important thing, but you want to break down the trend in terms of breakouts, test the breakout, springs, up thrusts, rallies, all of that. There's some type of intuition which you cannot really. I don't think it can be done with indicators, but it's just an intuition, and that one of the steps to gain that is to be able to mark things up and not rely on indicator level info. I mean, there has to be a level of interaction between you and the chart and the market, So right now you can see I know clearly what are the possibilities. Right here you had a breakout into a rally, did another rally, and then it went pull back all the way down to test the breakout. This is very, very common behavior. Then it did another breakout. That's what happens. Breakout, rally, it does a test, and then it loses the buying momentum. So what do you know? You know it's going to take out the lows and pull back. Where? Either at the breakout, slightly below the breakout, or wherever. Like it could hit the low bar. Since this is quite large, this rally, it's going to be somewhere in the middle. It taps it in, springs the area. Again, pathetic attempts here. So what does that mean? It means those lows are not going to hold because you can see the shortening of the thrust and lack of momentum. So it goes here and it tests this support area from which there is a breakout, a minor breakout above this high with 2,800 contracts, which are biggest volume in 37 bricks. So then, but the problem is when it comes up here, it barely has any follow through. So what does that mean? That means it's going to test the breakout. If it can't go, it's going to go lower, test the low bar. So right here is very important to take a look. Do I see any changes of behavior? No. Do I see any climaxes? No. Do I see any? There's one thing though, like these highs is by one brick. This high to this high is about one brick. That's not a good sign, but still the trend is clearly up and I have it framed. So I know what to expect. It can pull back, test right here against this breakout, which it's testing, and then fly, or there's going to be some other possibilities as well, because it's tagging them. So I wonder if this is reaccumulating that area. You see this breakout right here? So I'm trying to figure out what's happening here. And now go to the lower time frame to figure out what's going on. Just go towards the right hand side. What do you see? This was the rally high, right? So let's mark it. Rally. High time frame, rally. Maybe I'll get rid of all of these. Give me 1 second. So yeah, anyway, it went up, it hit this rally, so this was a climax. It's very hard to tell climax ahead of time, as you all know, right? So, because you're like, oh, what about this? Is this a climax? That's a climax? You really don't know. I have an idea, but, depending on the resistance levels and whether there's follow through selling and buying, blah, blah, blah. So where is this shit? Okay. So it hit the climax, and here is your change of behavior. It's very clear change of behavior. One of the things why you know it's change of behavior is it's coming from a climax. 2, it breaks the bands. 3, it's on heavy price volume. And it's after a number of up waves, meaning you have an uptrend. So that's how you know that this is not a change of behavior, because you're not in markup yet. Right? So this is really a shakeout right here. Take out these lows and then go. You see the shakeout here is different than the change of behavior. This is a change of behavior. Why? Because the market was in markup. And how you know it's markup? Multiple up waves making higher highs, higher lows. Right? So that explains this rally. Now it's getting really interesting, because don't be fooled by this chop. This right now, unless you have There's no buying pressure. So there's selling pressure. Okay, there is selling pressure, and I'm talking about the immediate trend on the lower time frame. So the selling came in, the test came in, the selling came in here, and so there is. But the higher time frame is bullish still, so you cannot take that for granted. So long story short, how did this rally turn? On this higher brick size where I have this marked as a rally, as you can see up here, upper right hand corner it says rally. How did it turn? It turned the same way a lot of other turning points turn. Into that rally on the lower, into the rally of the higher time frame, you had a climax on a lower time frame. So the rally high on a higher time frame, where there was a turn and the rotation down or the pullback started to occur, there was a climax. Where? On a lower time frame or a lower brick size. And this is the climax. And you know it's a climax. Like, I know because of the numbers here. They're very extreme. Like, and you know, it's running away from the bands and all that stuff. So then after that, the selling occurred, which changed direction. Okay, so let's go back here and see how the support and resistance area, as it went to support resistance area, how that turning point occurred. Always you will see that it's always some change of behavior. I mean, always, like, again and again. It's just a matter of identifying which ones that heavy buying and selling pressure is a change of behavior and which ones are not. And this requires filtering in your mind. So, and that requires, being able to do that requires experience. It cannot be done mechanically based off of scans, because this judgment, too much judgment involved. Right? Like here, what helps make you think that this is a change of behavior is A, higher time frame support level, B, higher high, right? C, the bands are breaking. 4, internals are also confirming. You know, on this upwave, there was 232 stocks up here that rallied. So that's it. Here, this pullback, this cannot say it's a change of behavior because it's not in clear markup. Has no follow through, blah, blah, blah. Short term, it is selling though, but how do you distinguish selling that, how do you distinguish change of behavior selling that creates a downtrend versus just selling that could be a shakeout? That is where the experience lies. Both are selling, but one is bullish and one is bearish. This here is bullish because what happened? Boom, right? This entire rally happened. You know, so how do you distinguish this from this? How do you distinguish this from this? One is bullish, this one is bullish, this one is bearish. So all of those other factors need to be considered. What are they? A, support and resistance on a higher time frame. B, the background. C, is it already in that trend? D, internals. What are the internals saying? All of that has to be taken. F, is there follow through? All right. Anyway, long story short, we're going to watch to see what happens here for the opportunity. All right. Thank you.